this out, guys. Somebody messaged earlier through Viber, and this is actually really interesting. Her name is Bev. Now she's asking. Okay, now again, we're talking about breaking stereotypes. All right. She's asking, when does a guy introduce his girlfriend to his friends, family, or even co-workers? I'm in a relationship with someone for 9 months, and I haven't met anyone from his side, nor even an office mate. I'm sure. Okay, now the thing is, I am sure he's single. Now his reason, because we're unstable on and off. We're not yet sure if we're going to end up in marriage. He doesn't want to disappoint them if they meet me, and the next time, wala na pala kami. Is that a red flag, or should I run out the door? All right. So
how old is she?
Exactly, Bev. How old are you, or how young are you? Now this is actually a love a love problem, but at the same time, this is where I guess the maturity of good guys step in. Now, your thoughts, gentlemen.
He sounds like a guy who's unsure of himself, is what I'm getting out of this. If you do not introduce... It's been 9 months.
Exactly, exactly.
You can make a human in that time.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know about this. It depends on the age.
He sounds married.
She sounds married.
He sounds
married.
He
sounds married.
Look, I don't know, obviously, the situation. I don't know the guy, but 9 months? No. That's a really long time to hide a person that you're dating.
Mm-hmm.
But then we also need more information.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah.
When you say dating, I mean, everyone's got a different version of dating. Do you see each other once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week?
Right.
Do you call each other? Where are you in the dating scene?
Mag-MU kami, mag-un.
I don't buy his reason, actually.
Not 9.
Me neither. Okay, now, Bev, if you guys ask me, the first thing that comes to my mind is he's married. He's either married or he's not single.
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that would come to my mind too, and because I mean, like 9 months is just
it's too long.
Yeah, it's just too long. But we also need to know the whole situation. I mean, where does he work? I mean, does he work for the CIA? Then yeah, you probably will never meet the colleagues, right? Everything. It's not. The more information we have, the better we can answer your question.
Let me change the music a little bit.
Very nice.
All right, now Aya now is asking through Viber as well. I guess she's asking, why do men like tiny or tall girls?
Wow, I mean why do we like anything? I mean, yeah. Why do we like blonde or black or hair or it's personal. I mean.
It's okay. What makes you have that personal preference? I mean, for me, my personal preference is I like petite women. I don't like calling them tiny, but I just say, I like to call them petite, cute. Like I was talking about off the air. My ex-wife was actually 4'11". So I mean, how does that? How do I explain it? I just like somebody who is my physical opposite. I don't know what it is, but it's just that it's a personal preference.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, my wife is, I think, 5'7", 5, so she's quite tall, but she's foreign, so she's from New Zealand, so that's not tall there. That's just
That's normal.
That's normal.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's all personal preference. I don't think I can't answer why. Because that's like, why do we like anything? I mean, that's why do we like the taste of chocolate versus vanilla? That's personal preference.
Chocolate versus vanilla.
I think a lot of it might have to do with the stereotypes that Hollywood and media project.
Right.
Because if you're unsure of yourself, they will present to you certain. This is attractive. I mean, and if you're not strong-willed enough and you're not so you don't work on your own self and your self-esteem, that will be handed to you as the attractive option. But eventually you will figure it out and you will say, well, no, I prefer this. And you don't really have to have a reason for it. That's the beautiful thing about love and attraction and all that. It doesn't need justification.
Right, exactly. Now, we're going to get back to...
Great way to weasel out of the question.
Like a pro.
Doesn't need justification.
Hence the.
Who are we to judge?
Hence switching over to. All right, so with that, if you guys are just joining us, this is Man Made, the show made by men for men, where men discuss all the same things, what women care about, not just about women, but what women care about. More importantly, fitness, grooming, career, finances, relationships, and now James Deacon with automotive and transport.
Okay, this is Man Made, the show made for men by men and only women callers so far. What is up with that? No, it's great. It's great. It's great. I just wanted to point that out because I think being our first episode, we were expecting a lot of men to come in, but I guess men already know who they are, so it's the women who want to know, what are you guys up to, what do you guys do, and then all that. But we'd take your questions. We'd love to get to that.
Exactly.
While we're waiting for your questions, I wanted to talk a little bit about being a holiday right now. A lot of people are using the roads mainly to get out of town, and I just wanted to use this as a reminder. I hate to be always that voice in your head, but you know what, just always want to remind people to just be as safe as you can out there. When you're out there on the roads, holiday season, there's a tendency for accidents to spike up. It's one, due to volume, because there's just more of you using the road at the same time. Right. Sometimes it's also just impatience. You know, people are just trying to get to where they want to go, and they get a little bit short-tempered, and their nerves get frayed, and they make rash decisions, you know, trying to overtake at the wrong spots, etc. It's also a great time, if you haven't already done it, you should check your car. Just make sure, just to give it a visual inspection. Make sure that, you know, nothing's hanging out there, your tires are in good condition, brakes are in good condition.
Correct.
So I hate to always be that voice in your head, but you know what? I don't mind being that voice in your head, because if it saves one life, it's certainly worth it. And, you know, out there on the roads, it's just, I always just worry.
Yeah, I mean, especially now that there's so many people who are on the roads, they're traveling to the provinces and all that kind of stuff. And I think one other important thing is how people should know how to maintain their car. I am so surprised that there are people out there, drivers who do not know how to change their tires.
Absolutely not. You know what? My kid, I hope he's not listening right now. He called me the other day, and he was just like, Dad, I got a flat tire. And I was like, well, change it. And he was like, how do you do that? I said, oh my gosh, you know, I was shocked because I come from a different generation, but eventually, you know what, thankfully there's a new app out. Well, there's actually a few, but there's this new app called Beep Beep, and you can pretty much go on it and get a service out of it.
Oh, okay.
So he was able to get that fixed inside the road, because I was in Bicol, he was in Tagaytay, and the app sorted that out. But you know what, it's great to have the knowledge. I think I would encourage everyone to have the knowledge to learn yourself, but you know, if you can get someone else to do it for you,
why not?
Why not, right? But you know what, let's spin it into a sort of a happier tone about the roads right now.
Right.
Because it's a time where everyone's driving out and going on holidays, etc. I want to pose a question to you guys, and anyone else who wants to answer it. If you were to pick a dream road trip, with a dream passenger, anywhere in the world, with a dream passenger, alive or dead, because it's undas.
Right.
Who would it be, and where would you go?
Why don't you start, Chappie?
Wow, it's a tough question. Again, I'm not really a big fan of road trips because I have 3 young children, I guess.
Oh yeah.
And any parents would know that having 3 young children in a long trip is hard. But in terms of who I would want to be with, I don't think there's anybody else to be with but my wife. No, but seriously, because you need someone who you can talk to and you can be yourself with, right? Because like what you were saying earlier, you're most at your original self, or yourself when you are at home. And for me, home is really my wife, wherever that is. In terms of the destination, I've always enjoyed the Banawi rice terraces in Sagada.
Wow, okay.
And to me, there's nothing more than, nothing better than waking up in the morning, opening up your window, and looking at the Banawi rice terraces in the distance, and then making
That sounds like the ending of a movie.
Well, but it's really, my vision, that's right.
Yeah, it's exactly
my vision is really that, and being with my wife has always been a happy time for me, and you know, some might call me a sap for that, but really, that's my answer.
And James?
Oh, wow. I didn't think I had to answer my own question.
Oh, yes.
You first.
Okay, me first.
Yeah.
Anywhere with Alice Dixon is fine.
Yeah. I get ya.
I don't care if it's a road trip to Sagada or it's a road trip to the fridge. I don't care. I mean,
She is.
I mean, she's just. Sorry for saying this, Alice, sweetheart. If you're listening, cat's out of the bag.